Good evening, student. Today topic is software license. See, software license. Software license. Then what is software license? A software license is a legal instrument governor of the use of redistribution of software. All software is copyright protected in both source code and object code forms. What is license? It's a software license is legal instrument governing the use of redistribution of software. All software is copyright protected in both source code and object code form. And what is copyright? Copyright ownership gives the owner the excuse right to use the work. Okay, then what is open source softwares? Open source software is openoffice.org, Mozilla Firefox, Java, WordPress, Apache, Ubuntu, Linux, PHP, MySQL, etc. Okay, then what is open source software? What is open source software? Open source commonly refer to software than the use and open development process and is licensed to include the source code. What is open source? Open source commonly refers to software the use and opens development process and is licensed in include the source code. And open source software, okay, open source software can be distributed freely. Open source software can be distributed freely and used by everyone free of cost. Okay, everyone free of cost, used by everyone free of cost. Example, open office software, Mozilla Firefox, Android operating system, etc. Next, closed source software. Closed source software and proprietary software. Proprietary software does not allow people to look at code and modify it and restrict it distribute. Such software can be freely available or can be purchased. Okay, example, your Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Office, Mac full form your Macintosh operating system, Mentos operating system, and iOS मतलब iPhone operating system. Okay, this is your closed source software for example. Okay, next, closed source software एवं properties software. Closed source software is Windows, WinRAR, iTunes, Microsoft Office, Skype, Mac, and Google Earth. And freeware software you are Skype, Java, Firefox, Firefox, MySQL, ठीक है? And
When creators release their finished product to the public, they must decide whether to make their software open source or closed source. With closed source software, also known as proprietary software, the public is not given access to the source code, so they can't see or modify it. But with open source software, the source code is publicly available, and programmers can see or modify that code if they desire. Keep in mind that you don't have to read or change any code in order to use an open source product. The vast majority of apps, games, and other popular software are closed source. However, there are open source options for many types of programs. If you want an open source alternative to Microsoft Office, you could use LibreOffice. Instead of using Windows, you can try an open source Linux operating system. Other open source examples include the Firefox web browser and WordPress blogging platform. One of open source's biggest advantages is that it's usually free, though some features and technical support may cost extra. Also, since the code is available to anyone who wants it, public collaboration can find bugs, add features, and improve performance within a relatively short amount of time. With that said, open source software is not perfect. It may not be as user-friendly as closed source software. And if you run into trouble, it may be difficult to find technical support, especially for less popular programs. As for closed source software, it's more likely to be a stable, focused product. And if you need support, customer service is typically easier to access. However, closed source software often costs money, and if it has any bugs or missing features, you'll have to wait on the creator to address the problems. Now that you understand the difference between open and closed source software, you can take advantage of the type that best meets your needs.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.